In Tekken, there is an answer for every single technique your opponent tries to throw at you, even if sometimes it's a little bit harder than it should be. So far in this series, we've looked at moves that you can launch, punish on block, usually very fast, very powerful mids, oppressive highs that you need to learn to duck if you want your full combo punish, and extremely irritating lows that you can't launch punish, so you need to low parry to get the biggest reward. Today we're going to be looking at strings that end in powerful mids that usually aren't punishable at all, that you need to learn to sidestep. So after watching this video, you're going to be beating some of these dumb strings online in style. Let's go. Eliza's back 1, 2, 4 is a risky but very effective string. On counter hit, the string is natural, and the second hit is a full launcher. Because of this, back 1 by itself becomes an effective mid poke. It's 14 frames and has mental frame advantage because you don't want to be running into the launcher. Back 1, 2 by itself is minus 13 on block. The third hit is much riskier, but its purpose is to interrupt you attempting to punish back 1, 2 and put you off of doing it in the future. The third hit is also minus 13, but it forces crouch. This can lead to interesting dynamics in some matchups. For instance, Eddie's best punish on back 1, 2 is pretty weak, but he can fully launch the third hit. And it gets even worse for the extension because it is incredibly linear. You can very easily step it in either direction and get a full launch punish. It's got to feel good to be Devil Jin. An unseeable low launcher, safe, mid, low crushing knockdown with guaranteed hits for the mix-up. And even though linearity really isn't that much of a problem for him, he has a 15 frame mid-mid string with tracking so good it might as well be homing, and several extensions to put you off of swinging back afterwards. Take a deep breath. So, we'll start off talking about back forward 2, 1, 2, as this is the extension that you'll actually see in the neutral. The first two hits are natural, and if you get hit by them you have no choice but to block the third, which is heavily minus, but especially at the wall it has so much pushback that it actually leaves Devil Jin in a favourable position. Interestingly enough, the first hit gives a crumple stun on counter hit that doesn't seem to do anything, but if the second hit gets a counter hit, the third is guaranteed. Back forward 2, 1 by itself is minus 10 on block. Be brave and punish them for it. Because if they get happy throwing out the final hit, you can sidestep it right and launch them. And yes, if I can do it with a Gigas, you can certainly do it. The one instance where you should stay away from this is when the wall is to your right side, making the string incredibly powerful from this position. Like with a lot of the strings in this video, if you choose to sidestep and they don't complete the string, okay, yeah, you missed your chance to punish, but you can still take your turn. More importantly, you stay completely safe. Especially in this case because all of the extensions for back forward 2, 1 can be stepped right, and back forward 2, 1 down forward 2 is minus 14, so if for whatever reason you end up blocking it, punish.
Now, let the show begin.
As a character, Bob has many strings that are made stronger by the fact that they have extensions, and they have a bit of a will they or won't they finish them kind of mind game built into them. 2, 1 is a safe high mid string, and the 4 extension can give you mental plus frames, especially because it knocks down into guaranteed follow-ups. It is possible to trade with a 10 frame move, but this is a trade that Bob's always going to win. You're much better off practicing to sidestep the third hit right and collecting your whiff punish. If 7 was your first Tekken, I can guarantee that you were thinking, How the hell can this character do this much damage to me by just pressing 4 and it's safe on block? Imagine the horror the first time you faced a Katarina that actually knew how to do a combo off of it. The damage is insane. It is actually possible to sidestep right then duck the second 2 hits, but doing this in a match is near impossible. And if the opponent is doing all 5 hits, there's approximately 79 ways to beat it. The 10 frame interrupt window is pretty fun for characters with 10 or 11 frame counter hit moves. The 4th hit is a high, which is incredibly easy to duck and punish. And it's a high with a crappy hitbox, meaning that even a bunch of moves that don't have true high crush properties will go under it. Throwing out any of these options can be risky if they don't finish the full string, but sidestepping left is safe and highly rewarding. Lili is one of those pesky characters who has both a mid and a low extension off of her 1-2. First we'll take a look at 1-2-3, the low, which is the one that can't be stepped. It isn't very scary on normal hit, not doing too much damage and leaving Lili at -2. However, on counter hit it knocks down into guaranteed follow-ups or Oki mix-ups. It's -13 on block. Some characters can get really strong punishes here. For those that can't, a low parry is definitely the most rewarding option if you read the low. Of course, if you try to block or low parry 1-2-3, you're going to eat 1-2-4, which is a pretty chunky knockdown and wall splat tool, which is also completely safe on block. A 12 frame move trades with the 3rd hit, meaning that you can actually float this with a 10 or 11 frame move, but if you attempt this and they use the low, you will get counter hit. It's safer and more rewarding to sidestep this to the left. I haven't found a true way to stop the mid-low mix-up here, but if you low parry the low and sidestep the mid, the risk reward is very much in your favour. Especially because the low isn't scary on normal hit and you get a full combo from both options. As fits his character design, Law's back 1-2-2 is kind of like a high risk, high reward version of Devil Jin's laser scraper. The first 2 hits are natural, the 3rd hit is a mid that knocks down on wall splats, but this time around the full thing is guaranteed on counter hit, which gives nasty damage at the wall. If you don't show this delayable extension some respect, you can find yourself in big trouble, and if you show it too much, Law can just continue the rushdown. It's riskier because it's -14 on block, though some characters will struggle to punish because of the pushback. If the string is undelayed, you can trade with a 10 frame move, but even Feng's Mighty Back 1 loses this trade. Much better to sidestep it right for maximum mental and literal damage. Miguel's 1-2-4 is a high string that leaves him with plus frames on both hit and block, and the choice to go into savage stance. So as long as you don't avoid the 3rd high completely, you're in mix-up city. 1-2, 1+2 is a big mid to complement the high. 1-2-4 doesn't jail, so obviously you can duck and launch it, even if it recovers surprisingly fast on whiff. And if you're flowcharting duck into a launch, you're going to get counter hit launched yourself. The mid is slow and very interruptible, but if you attempt this you'll eat the high on counter hit. So what can you do to beat both options? The very fast high crushing move will beat both, but it's not like Miguel has to complete the strings, and he can really blow you up for doing a down jab or a generic down 4. It may not look like it, and it might not be the easiest thing to react to, but both options are actually sidesteppable to the left. Blow them up for trying to use this string to get pressure on you. I think I'll just let this clip speak for itself for a second. Lucky Chloe's Cali roll crushes highs, goes under mids, and wrecks your health bar. Lucky Chloe cannot go into back turned manually. Here are the moves that can go into it. Forward 4, forward 4-4, back 3, down back 3, sidestep 4, lucky, and her rage drive. After blocking the first 2 hits, there's a 13 frame interrupt window, making a generic down forward 1 a great tool to interrupt. It floats, giving you a full combo, and if she cancels, the whiff is completely safe. Some characters have really cool option selects for this string. I'll be going into Leo's one in a video soon. If you block the full string, you've just let Lucky Chloe throw out a hugely rewarding move that's completely safe. Sidestep it to the right, and show her she's not so lucky after all.
Entspann dich. Du schaffst es.
Leo's back 1-4 is one of the most notorious and controversial strings in Tekken 7. On counter hit you can convert into a full combo, and on block she transitions into K&K stance at +8. From here she has a ton of options, including a safe counter hit high, a mid launcher, a plus low, a crouch dash, with more options, and she can even sidestep counter the crouch dash into whatever she wants. A lot of characters have very unique ways to escape the second hit on block, and for some reason, Eddie escapes it by just holding back. Back 1-4 is a very powerful string, but for the vast majority of characters you just have to learn to sidestep the second hit to the left and get your full combo punish. Thank you very much to both Namco and Nina players for making me deal with this lovely string approximately 5 times around. There are a couple of extended versions of this string in 3-3-4-3 and 4-3-4-3. For these, your best answer will just be to learn to low parry the second hit. Now on to down 3-4-3. A low, high, mid string that's +2 and forces crouch. Anything you try to do from this position can get destroyed by Nina's fast counter hits or a simple sidestep. Once again, a 10 frame move will trade with the final hit, but this is a pretty horrible idea considering it's a counter hit launcher. And speaking of counter hit launchers, if you block the low and try to punish, unlucky. The string doesn't jail even on hit, so ideally you'd learn to duck the second hit every time. But this is of course very hard to do online. However, a sidestep right will deal with the final hit and turn this horrible situation in your favour. And there you have it guys. 10 strings that have no doubt given you a lot of irritation online, and how to utilise the 3D aspect of Tekken to beat them in style. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you forget which direction to step some of these strings the next time you run into these characters, this recap section is here at the end of this video so you can quickly come and check it out. Other than that, I only have the boring generic stuff to say. I work hard to make these videos both informative and entertaining. If you enjoyed it, chuck me a subscribe, there'll be more like this coming. Like the video if you, well, liked the video. And I'll be down in the comment section for any questions or discussion. Thanks guys, I'll be back soon.